Hey guys, how the hell are you? It is a new release Friday. It is February 26, 2021. There is tons of new stuff coming out today. If you guys are so insatiable about your new music, just like I am, please pop to that link that's in the description below for my Spotify playlist, Arnold Plays Guitar's new release radar, so that you guys can check out the new releases that I deem might be worthy of my attention. Obviously, I'm not going to include absolutely everything on there that's coming out in the world of metal. There might even be a handful of things here or there that are not metal, but it's all stuff that I thought, hey, you know what? I would probably dig that. So that's why I added it to the list. Hopefully you guys can find something in there that you think blows your mind as well. But there is that link in the description so that you guys can hopefully satiate your hunger for the awesome new music every Friday. But despite the fact there's tons of new stuff coming out today from the likes of my buddy Joss with his new solo record, the new Evergrey is coming out, the new Einherjar is coming out. There's tons of new stuff today. Today might honestly be the biggest new release date of the year so far. We have to talk about the stuff that came out last week because there was a handful of new releases last week, and there was one in particular that definitely secured the top spot for me. Last week was kind of an easy one. There was kind of one glaring album that was coming out last week that honestly I kind of knew it was going to be my album of the week, and it just became a thing where I was checking out all the stuff that I added to my playlist in the hopes I would find something that could even compete with it. Last week was definitely a very black metal week. There was a handful of things that came out that were other styles. A lot of power metal came out last week, but not really anything that really grabbed me beyond it having an incredible mix job. But that being said, there was tons of awesome black metal that came out last week. And I mean, a few different things here or there. If you like stuff more polished, I definitely recommend you check out the new album by Throne. It's spelled just the same way, just without the E on the end, but that record was really killer. If you dig the more raw, the more aggressive, the more atmospheric stuff, much more extreme stuff, I would definitely recommend checking out 3 different new releases that came out last week. Stake Driver, Qualen, I'm probably mispronouncing that because it's got the little umlaut above one of the vowels there, and Idoma. All 3 of those releases were fucking rock solid black metal releases. Absolutely fantastic, great blasting, extreme metal. But there again, it was just the kind of thing where there wasn't really anything that was going to overtake the top slot from the album I predicted would get it this week, and that is Harakiri For The Sky. These guys created kind of a masterclass in post-black metal with this release. Post-black metal is one of those things that I've kind of gotten into in recent years. Harakiri For The Sky, what makes them so special is that it is a 2-man project. They do, of course, bolster the lineup for live performances. They do also have a guest musician, that being Krim of Septic Flesh, who plays drums on the release. But for the most part, it's just 2 guys. It's Matthias, who does all of the normal instrumentation like bass and guitar and whatever else might be present. And then Michael, who does the vocals. And between these 2 and the session musicians that they employ, man, it's an incredible sound. It's very full. First of all, that's the first thing that you're going to notice. The mix job is absolutely perfect. Literally everything these guys throw into the mix sounds clear, sounds precise, but yet at the same time still sounds really organic. It's not modern metal like what we typically expect and what we typically consider modern metal. It's more of something that's kind of unfucked with, and that's why I like this so much, and that's why I like this genre so much. It sounds so organic. It doesn't really have a sort of quantized feel to it. It doesn't really have a sort of perfect feel to it. And in that respect, having a sort of imperfect feel to it, that is what makes it perfect, if that makes any sense. What makes Harakiri For The Sky so awesome, and especially this release, Mare, is that, man, it seems like Matthias is just going out of his way to take all of the awesome riffs and leave none for the rest of us. And that's kind of awesome in that this guy has such a gift of riff writing for the genre. In general, he has such a gift of riff writing because I've heard some of his other stuff too. But in Harakiri For The Sky, he just puts it all out there, puts it on full display, and everything flows so nice. It's like you hear something in like Pallbearer that's like, okay, that's cool. I could totally base a song off that, and then something else comes out of left field a little bit, like kind of a stop-start thing, and you're like, where did that come from? And all through the whole thing, there's a really nice flowing melody line coming from one of the guitar tracks that's just kind of tying everything together. The bass sits nice in the mix. The drums are that perfect sort of organic feel to it. Yeah, there's probably a little bit of triggering happening, but it's not to a profuse extent like you would hear on like a modern death metal record, for example. It's much more like kind of room atmosphere vibe to the drum sound. As far as the guitar sound itself, there again, extremely organic. It definitely doesn't sound like a super processed Axe Effects kind of tone or anything like that. It sounds like dude is just plugging into a pedal board and then plugging into an amp, maybe miking it with like a nice room mic capturing the reverb bouncing off the walls, and it sounds so epic. The songs kind of run a gamut of different like sort of feels to them. Like some of them have kind of like a straightforward, almost kind of punky feel to them. Others are straight up blast fests, but without getting too extreme for the sake of it, and without getting too melodic for the sake of it making it seem like all hippy-dippy and like, oh yeah, life is great, it's awesome. You know, it's wanting to convey a certain amount of like melancholy in the music itself, and that's even before you get to Michael's vocals. Michael's vocals are definitely befitting of the music, definitely something that you hear a lot of in this genre with that kind of pained scream that he's just kind of choking out. But there again, with kind of that same melodic sensibility that Matthias has for his melody lines, the melodies of the vocals just kind of carry and kind of bring everything together from song to song to song. In my opinion, there's not really a bad song on the record, but I definitely have a couple favorites. Sing for the Damage That We've Done is a fantastic song. There's an awesome music video for it, and that was kind of the first one I saw that got me really, really invested in this record. Like, ooh, I can't wait for this to come out. And then when it did, you know, the whole record was kind of in the same vibe. But that song is awesome. It's also got some great guest vocals by Nige from Alcest. And then also Once Upon a Winter, which technically sets off disc 2 of this really, really, really long album. That is an absolute banger of a song. That's probably, in my opinion, the catchiest song on the whole recording. And by catchy, I mean melodic. It sinks its teeth into you and pulls you in. It's exactly what you want from this genre. It's not bleak and atmospheric for the sake of it. It's bleak and atmospheric, meaning that it's supposed to be invoking some sort of a feeling in you. And the melody is what draws you in so that that sort of bleakness and depressing atmosphere can actually do its job. And in that, like, I said it before at the beginning of this review, this is kind of a masterclass for this genre. So anyone that's really looking to dip their feet into post-black metal should be checking out this record. It is so goddamn good. So thank you guys so very much for tuning in to yet another Album of the Week video. Please, please, please remember to check out that playlist that's below so that you guys can check out all the new stuff that's coming out. Hopefully you guys will find something as entertaining to you that I find as well. It is updated every single weekend, so by all means be sure to give that playlist a follow. Everything gets deleted, all the new stuff gets added, and it's just a whole new week. So thank you guys so much for tuning into this. Remember to please like this video, subscribe to this channel. There's tons more metal and guitar-oriented content to come. And remember, please, take what you do seriously, but do not take yourselves too seriously.